Hey Tappers, today's video is a follow-up on one that I did not too long ago, where I talked about how failure doesn't really exist. We had a couple of comments from people in our community, from Keisha and Jameson, asking for a little bit of further instruction on how to tap this away. So if you find value in this video, please give a shout out to them of thanks and love. There's so many ways to apply, and that we do apply, failure to ourselves. This could be a 3-hour-long video. We're going to make it short and tight. So we're going to approach this from the stance of something where you didn't meet your own expectations. And there are much heavier and deeper ways and more complicated ways that this word can be applied. We're going to keep it a little bit more top level for this video. Let's jump into it. So some ways that you can use phrases and things that you can say in order to release that and shift that perspective is number one, start with what you feel is true. Even though right now I completely believe I failed 1,000% on that and I feel so ashamed and embarrassed, I deeply and completely accept myself anyway. Even though I feel like that's how everyone's going to look at me from now on, is that I'm this big fat failure, I deeply and completely accept myself anyway. Even though I feel like the only thing I've ever done in my life is fail, I deeply and completely accept myself anyway. So whatever it is that you're feeling, and don't be afraid to make it big emotions. Tell the truth. That's how you're going to light up those neuron pathways in your brain. Okay, so after you've established that, then you can go into other phrases. I failed because of this aspect. I failed because this person said that. I failed because I never got it right. I failed because I never completed. I failed because, what's your definition? How are you determining that in this instance you in fact failed? I failed because the outcome wasn't what I wanted. I failed because I didn't get what I was going after. I failed because that's what everybody said to me. Everyone called me a failure. Everyone laughed at me. Everyone mocked me. I thought I did a good job. Nobody else did. Whatever it is. And maybe start to question, well, I wonder, if I was failing, what would succeeding be? What's the opposite of that? Would succeeding have been being perfect? Would succeeding have been meeting their expectations? Would succeeding have been meeting my own expectations? Well, what expectations did I have? What was my line of success? What would success in that look like? Why, I don't even have an idea. I don't even know. Wasn't that a little unfair to expect me to be able to figure out what that is if I don't even have a finish line for myself? Well, success would have been perfection from the very beginning and never a learning curve or anything. Oh, okay, well, would I hold anybody else to that standard? Is that something that I would say to another person? And would I call them a failure if they didn't reach it? And why am I doing that to myself? What am I getting out of? This is a key question. What am I receiving by allowing myself to believe that I failed this? By allowing myself to take on this tag of failure in this instance? What do I receive from that? Is it proof that I shouldn't try so I can stay safe and not reach out in things? Proof that it's dangerous for me to try and be myself, so I should just continue to be the person that everybody told me I had to be growing up? Is it I'm afraid that every person that I try with disappears or leaves and that hurts too much, so I'm just going to say it's not possible so I don't have to go through that anymore? What is it? What's a benefit? What is a benefit to you believing that you've lost, that it's over, and that it's gone, it's failed? Anything that pops into your mind, if you have a memory of someone, even if you're like, that's so weird, that doesn't apply at all. This is telling your brain, let's find those connections, let's dig this out. And when you start being curious, when you start asking questions that kind of stretch it all different ways, then your brain's going to go, oh, what about this? This seems connected. Oh, what about that? We tagged it here. So have a flow and allow whatever comes to come, especially if it's emotion. If you feel like crying, if you feel like laughing, if you feel like cussing, whatever it is, as long as it's appropriate for the surroundings that you're in, let it out. A good time to stop is when you start to feel euphoric you start to feel like you're having ideas or breakthroughs. This is something that may take more than one simple tapping. If you want to work with a practitioner, that's always a great thing to do if it starts to feel real heavy and sticky and you're not sure you can figure it out on your own. When you're reaching that point and you're feeling that, yeah, energy, that's when you can go, and now that I realize this, and I'm releasing my old beliefs and accepting this new perspective, I choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself. And then end on that note. And know that you can always go back and tap on it more, but when your body reaches that place of release, take a break, let your brain reorganize what you've already done, and go back into it at another time. Thank you so much, Jameson and Keisha, for asking for the video. I hope this helps. I'll see you soon.